Hello again. I have taken a long break from Turing Complete. I think it's been about 3 years since I made a video. But I decided to start playing again, and I got back to CPU Architecture 2, and I got to the unsigned. I got to the unsigned and signed less challenges, and I realized I did unsigned on my own. Signed less, I had to get some inspiration online for. And I found a really good solution from this website. This is a Japanese website. I'll link it in the description. But it had a really great solution for the signed challenge. But I decided to optimize it, and I also didn't find the explanation very helpful. That might have just been because it was in Japanese, so the translation just might not be great. So hopefully I can explain these levels better than anyone else has so far. All right, so let's start with unsigned less. So the general theory of this, we take the not, so basically the opposite of the first input, and then just the regular second input, and we add them together. And after we add them together, we take the carry out. Here, let me use these sort of splitters so I can sort of explain what's going on with the addition. So there's that. Okay. So notice both of our inputs are the same. And when they are the same, but only one is getting knotted, that sounded dirty. I feel like I need a different term. I'll just say inverted. So when only one is getting inverted, these two become opposites, right? So we got the full array of bits here and then no bits here. So when they get added together, it's just 1 plus 0, which is just 1 across the board. So just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, etc. But now if we add 1 to this one, now this is 1 plus 1, which is 0 with a carry of 1. Now that 1 is getting added to 1 with a 0 of carry 1, so on and so forth, all the way until that 1 gets carried out to the end of the byte. And that's what this carry out is. That means that the answer can no longer fit in 8 bits. So yeah, if they are opposites, they'll be 0. But any number greater than the opposite will trigger that output, that carry. And you can go through all the different bits. It doesn't matter what combination. So that is essentially how you do the less. Any number, if this is greater than that number ever, it will have that carry. All right, I think that's sufficiently explained. I'll turn that bit off to explain why this also is still off. So that this is a 1 plus 1, which is the 0 with a carry, but then that 1, that carry from the first bit, is getting added to a 0 and a 0 here. So just 1 down here, and now there's no more carries. So even though that first bit carried, that carry doesn't sustain all the way to the end. All right, I think that's a good enough explanation. If you have questions, always you're welcome to put them in the comments. I try to keep up on those. I don't like to leave people hanging. All right, so now the signed less. This one's a little bit more complicated. At least that's what it appears to be for all the solutions online. But I'm going to show you a really easy solution here. It's going to be so simple, you're not even going to believe it. I was kind of baffled myself. So we're just going to take, first of all, we're going to turn the signed notation on. And now we're just going to put a NOT gate on the most significant bit. That's the negative 128. Then we can put these bytes back together. Okay, so now these are just the same number, right? These are just both, whatever the input is with the last bit inverted. But now we do the same technique that we did in the last one, where we NOT the input that we want to be less than, and then we just add it to the other one. You might not believe me, but I swear this is going to work. It's crazy. And then take our carry out to the output. Okay, so 0 and 0, obviously the output's 0. Now let's do negative 128. Obviously that's less than. And I'll actually just run the test to show you. Okay, so we've got it verified. So how is this working? Here, I'll do this to make it easier to see what's actually happening on the output. So this number, the second input, the one that needs to be checked if it's greater than the other number, all of its bits are being maintained except for the most significant bit. The most significant bit is the only one that's being inverted. But the other number, the one that's supposed to be less than, the most significant bit is the only number that's maintained. It's the only one that's not being inverted. So in that sense, it's still the same sort of theory where the numbers are opposite if they're the same, as you can see here. So with that same sort of like framework that we're working under, the numbers that need to be added to this number in the adder, it needs to have a carry that comes all the way out. So the number that needs to be added has to have the most significant bit, and it also has to have one other bit from the other 7. So you can see here, the number that's getting added to, it has that most significant bit, but it doesn't have any other bits. So when we turn that on, now it has another bit, and so that carry is coming out. So yeah, like I said, when I first saw this solution, it looked different. I'll show you. This is what it looked like when I found it. So it's got this extra byte here that they're constructing going into 2 XOR gates. And really that XOR gate, it's just turning on the most significant bit. If that bit is turned off at least. If it's already turned on, then it's being turned off. So it's just a NOT gate. I told you this earlier on in the Turing Complete walkthrough, that an XOR gate is just a toggleable NOT gate. I don't know if I need to explain that again, but let's see. Let's say that this number, this is like our actual data. This is like a number that we want to either keep the same or turn off. So as you see, the XOR gate, pretend that this is like turning the gate on or off, right? So right now the gate is turned off, and so the number is just allowed to pass through. And if we turn it on, now that data bit is getting inverted. So that's what I mean when I say an XOR gate is just a toggleable NOT gate. So the NOT gate, or not the NOT gate, the XOR gate that they're using here, it's just a NOT gate. It's just a NOT gate that's always turned on, so there's no real reason to use it. So yeah, I thought that was worth mentioning. I'm sorry if a lot of people wanted to see the rest of CPU Architecture 2. I just never got around to making it. I'm probably still not getting around to making it, I'm sorry to say. I got school starting here pretty soon, so I'll probably be too busy. But anyways, I hope this was instructive. I hope I explained it well enough. I don't know if I even fully understand it myself, but yeah, there is a very good solution. Thank you for watching.